Madison, stay with us.
Oh, come on, come on. Back up, back up, back up, back up, back up, back up.
Tina! Please step outside. No. Hey, Casey, we're here right now. We need light. Casey, calm down.
Madison, stay with us. Madison, stay with us. Madison, stay with us. Her pulse.
What's the turning blood?
You want to open that mask?
Yep.
Well, if she...
Thank you for watching Why I Killed You TV. Please make sure to subscribe, like, comment, and share not only this particular YouTube channel, but this particular video as well. Today we're going to be talking about Madison Michelle Wells. She was 16 years old from Long Branch, New Jersey. She was tragically murdered on the night of September the 8th, 2018. She had recently begun her junior year at Long Branch High School and was known for her charisma, love of science projects, makeup, cooking, and biking. On that evening, Madison was at her aunt's home on Pelt Place when her ex-boyfriend Bryan Cordero-Castro, 22 years old, arrived. Earlier that day, he attempted to contact her over 230 times via calls and text messages. Despite efforts by her family to keep them apart, Madison agreed to speak with him outside. Moments later, she returned inside with stab wounds to her chest, and she eventually collapsed. She was pronounced dead at 11:25 p.m. Let's roll this clip.
They hate you. You're gonna die. I don't want to do this.
Oh, come on, come on. Back up, back up, back up, back up, back up, back up.
CPR in progress.
Is she bleeding? Right here is the only one I see.
Is she breathing? I have 8 breaths. She's gasping.
This is Madison Wells, who was found lying in a pool of blood with multiple stab wounds. But this was just the beginning of a case so terrifying that it was beyond anyone's darkest nightmare.
Hang in there, man.
They got to stabilize her. That's what. Just I know.
With every step, the killer's twisted plan began to unravel.
That's it. I'm positive.
He believed the murder was flawless, but the truth that followed would change everything forever.
I didn't kill her. That was my friend.
You didn't kill her?
No, that was my friend.
How do you know she's dead?
He tried to run out the booking area.
On September 8th, 2018, around 10:40 p.m., Casey Wells called 911 to report a deadly attack on her 16-year-old niece, Madison Wells.
Monmouth County, first stabbing.
Please, my niece is on.
Ma'am, listen to me. I need you to take a breath for me, okay?
I am.
Where did she get stabbed at?
I don't know. It looks like in her chest. I don't know. She's laying on my
Is she
floor.
breathing?
She's breathing, but yeah.
Okay.
She's breathing.
Listen, is she able to talk to you?
No, she's like.
Is she losing consciousness?
Yeah. Please.
Okay, where is she now?
She's on my floor. Please, just get a cop here.
When the Long Beach, New Jersey police arrived at the scene, they had no idea that what they were walking into would soon turn into a real horror.
We didn't know at that point really who the victim was, and we didn't know the extent of their injuries when we arrived. So what we walked into really turned out to be a bit of a shock.
Oh my God!
While I was walking up, you could hear screaming.
Dad, please!
Oh my God.
My focus at that time was just getting to the house and getting to the victim.
Where's he stabbed? Headquarters next tonight. You got any gloves? You got another pair of gloves? We got a light?
Just take these. I got more in there.
Flashlights, I don't care, something.
Inside the house, the first thing they saw was a bloody handprint smeared down the wall, as if someone had desperately tried to hold on while slipping away. Just below it, Madison laid in a large pool of blood with multiple stab wounds on her body. Her family surrounded her, screaming, crying, and begging for her to hold on, desperate to save her life.
Madison, stay with us.
Oh, come on, come on. Back up, back up, back up, back up, back up, back up.
Tina! Please step outside. No. Hey, Casey, we're here right now. We need light. Casey, calm down.
Madison, stay with us. Madison, stay with us. Madison, stay with us. Her pulse.
What's the turning blood?
You want to open that mask?
Yep.
Well, if she...
The situation was already disturbing, and it was getting more chaotic by the minute. Soon after, EMTs arrived and rushed to Madison's side. They worked quickly, trying everything they could to help her regain consciousness.
Do you have the tanks right
Do we have
behind you?
another tank if somebody wants to run out?
We got it right here.
Do we have a pulse set?
Yep, just check that.
I can grab it.
I'll just grab it.
How do we,
You want me to do bag roll?
Yep. Once he gets the airway in, we'll also bag him.
You really never know what you're going to have when you show up to a scene like that. In this case, it was very serious.
CPR in progress.
Where's she bleeding from? Right here is the only one I see. It's not even actively bleeding anymore.
Just let these men do their work right now. Let them do their job right now.
At that point, the only thing running through everyone's mind was to keep Madison alive.
Madison, I got a breath. I got a breath. Is she breathing? I have a breath. She's gasping.
Should we stretch her out?
Madison, come on. Madison, stay with us.
Check that pulse.
You check the pulse because I wasn't feeling anything.
What do I do?
If she does have a pulse, it's very faint. She got a very, very faint pulse. Unless that's me. Come on, Madison, stay with us. Come on, wake up.
As they got Madison ready to be taken to the hospital, more police officers arrived at the scene to help manage the family, secure the area, and support the emergency team in any way they could.
Oh, sorry, we're just gonna let the EMT know that we're doing a compression scan.
Okay, should we pass now?
Yeah, they're trying to find a pulse. We can't find a pulse on her the second time around. I don't know.
God, hurry up!
Which way are we going around the car?
What?
Stop on the other side. Alright, let's get her up and out. Grab some legs, grab some arms. There we go. I got this arm, you got that arm. 1, 2, 3. There we go. God. Oh my God. Whoa, brother. Oh, that's my daughter, man. Oh, it's a freaking ambulance. My head. I'm sorry. Call Grandpa now. Call Grandpa.
Throw this in there with them.
You want me to ride with you guys? Yeah.
Move over there now. This is the ambulance. Come through.
There's no way.
But it became very clear that while we did need to get her stabilized, we did need to get her to a hospital.
Hang in there, Maddie.
Bag's right there. Bag's right there. Are we closing this?
Yeah.
Or there?
Gonna be a lot of blood.
No. They got to stabilize her. That's what. Just I know.
Okay.
I know.
That's not okay.
Are you guys going?
I'm waiting on ALS telling me what to do.
Okay.
Time was running out, but Madison had already lost so much blood that the EMTs couldn't rush her to the hospital right away. They had to try and stabilize her right there at the scene first.
Come on, Maddie. Can you move them away from the
Come on, Maddie. Guys, come on. Just go stand over there, guys.
I can't look. I can't look.
Come on, Maddie.
You alright?
Yeah.
You guys see anything?
They're going to switch me before they pass out from emergency.
Yeah, no, it's okay. Are you going to,
I think they're on the phone with the doc now.
say what?
They're on the phone with the doc now, probably for announcements.
Seriously?
Yeah, I'm not too sure yet. I'm talking now. Pass out, dude.
Okay.
Even after all their efforts to save her, the news that came next was what everyone feared the most. Madison succumbed to her injuries. She was pronounced dead by the doctors shortly after arriving at the hospital.
They weren't telling us anything. I just wanted to go in. I just wanted to go in and see my kid. Say goodbye. I don't know. I just wanted to see my daughter. And they wouldn't let us. It was really surreal. Tina said, what are we supposed to do now? Just go home, go to sleep like nothing ever happened? And that's what happened.
While the family was still grieving and trying to process the heartbreaking loss, the police had already begun their murder investigation. They knew they had to act quickly to find out who was responsible for this vicious attack. Their first step was to speak with Casey, Madison's aunt, who had made the 911 call. They hoped she could provide them with some crucial details about what had actually happened that night.
You mind giving me a quick, just tell me what happened as far as like, I know you picked her up today, right?
Yeah, I picked her up last night. Earlier tonight, me, my sister, and my boyfriend were sitting in Northern.
What time did you pick her up at?
I'd say around like 9-ish.
Okay.
Like around 9.
From where?
She lived on Cleveland Ave.
Oh, you picked her up from her house?
Yeah.
According to Casey, at some point, Madison had gone outside the house, and soon after, someone called her. That's when everything turned into a nightmare.
What time was this when she came here and said she was going to go out there?
Like around 9:30, 9:40.
So 9:30?
So then she comes stumbling back in, and I see blood.
When Madison came back inside, the first thing she said was, "He stabbed me," before collapsing to the floor. But who was this person? Though Casey was still in shock, she had a strong suspicion about who it could be. It turned out that the person she thought of was someone very close to Madison.
It's just weird, and this whole relationship has been weird to me, and she had cut me out of her life because I kind of sensed something. I had a weird feeling from the gate about him, but...
So,
this was really crazy.
Yeah, I know.
I'm sorry.
It's alright.
So I called her, because I was like, and she had told me they broken up, or whatever. They broke up.
Bryan, what? You see what's wrong with your last name? It's gotta be the same.
What's his last name?
His name's Cordero. C-O-R-R-E-D-O.
What?
If I'm correct. Your boyfriend, Bryan Cordero. Hold on.
Relationship headquarters. I'm riding the Long Range First Aid from Monmouth Medical Center.
Invite me to ours. Doesn't pop up.
With this new information, the police now had a name to focus on: Madison's ex-boyfriend, 20-year-old Bryan Cordero-Castro. They wondered if he could be the key to solving the case, but before jumping to conclusions, they knew they needed to gather solid evidence to confirm his involvement. To start, they began canvassing the area and searching for clues.
Understand I'm being involved, and you're going to have 2 Class 2s that are going to be securing the scene with Morgan until the DP gets there. I don't know which guy's bathroom this is. 272's guy for you.
While searching the area, the investigators found the murder weapon lying on the ground in the driveway. The weapon was a long, stiff blade, and just one look at it made it clear how brutal the attack on Madison had been. The size and sharpness of the blade explained the severe injuries Madison had suffered.
As I entered into the residence, I observed the foyer area, and it was saturated with Madison's blood.
Outside, other investigators were working to gather more information. They took down the license plate numbers of cars parked nearby, hoping to identify who had been around the area at the time of the murder. They also checked for any nearby CCTV cameras that might have captured footage of the events. In addition, they went door to door in the neighborhood, asking residents if they'd seen or heard anything that could be helpful. They were determined not to miss any small clue that could lead them to the truth. Meanwhile, as the investigation continued, the focus began to shift more strongly towards the biggest lead they had.
Madison and Bryan were in a relationship for approximately 1 year. That's a long time. Also, they worked together at a restaurant in Long Branch. It's a red flag for law enforcement, and we need to look at that person.
But that wasn't all they discovered. The suspicion around Bryan only deepened when Casey's boyfriend revealed some disturbing truths about Madison's relationship with Bryan.
How long was she with him?
He's probably been with him for about a year.
Okay. Do you know how she met him? Where she met him at? Or?
She worked over at
The restaurant?
Yeah, the one right by
Yeah. So does he work there too?
No, he did at that time. He was a server, I believe, when she was a hostess. From what I was just told tonight, they both got fired. I knew she got fired a little while ago, but he got fired too. And now
what did they get?
Working at
Who's that?
He's over up there.
Okay. Yeah.
Whatever that was.
Yeah.
Across the street from the TV bank.
Okay, all right. What they get fired for?
I couldn't even tell you.
No idea.
Like I said, I just found out about it
Okay.
today.
No, it's fine. It's fine. It's fine.
Baby, dude. It's a little girl, bro.
According to Casey's boyfriend, Madison and Bryan had been in a troubled relationship for a long time and had only recently broken up. When the detectives realized this could be the possible motive behind the crime, they quickly contacted Bryan's last workplace and obtained his complete information to push the case forward. Meanwhile, heartbroken by the news of her niece's death, Casey volunteered for an interview with the detectives.
Officer, tell your name.
Casey Wells.
I'm gonna read this to you word for word, and we'll go through the process, okay?
The detectives prepared a pack of 6 photo arrays with Bryan's picture and showed it to Casey to confirm his identity.
In a moment, I will show you 6 photographs, one at a time. You may take as much time as you need to look at each of them.
That's it. I'm positive number 2 is her. I don't need to look any further. Number 2. I'm sticking with number 2.
Without taking a second to contemplate, Casey pointed to the second picture in the stack, almost as if she was expecting his face to show up.
Casey positively identified the picture of Bryan, which was in the photo array, as Madison Wells' boyfriend.
With Bryan's identity confirmed, officers traced his address and rushed to the location, hoping to arrest him immediately. However, upon their arrival, the reality was nothing like they'd been anticipating.
Anybody home with you guys right now? Bryan home with you guys?
No.
Alright. You know where he might have went?
No.
Mind if I step in?
Despite Bryan's family insisting he wasn't home, detectives asked for their permission to search the house, suspecting he might be hiding there.
I got to take my gun out, cautiously and just protect me and everybody around me.
After an exhaustive search of the entire house, Bryan was nowhere to be found. The police also came up empty-handed. There was no incriminating evidence that could directly tie him to Madison's murder.
I knew this was going to be tough. We didn't know where he was. We don't know if, positively that he's our suspect. He could be anywhere. We need to speak to Bryan right away. So they either clear him from this or talk to him and see what his involvement was. If there's somebody else out there, we need to know about it right away.
Disappointed by the outcome, they now shifted their focus to tracking his location through his phone. They reached out to multiple mobile carriers to track his service provider.
Hi, this is Colin with Verizon Security. May I have your name and agency, please?
Corporal Gant, Long Branch Police Department.
What can I do for you today, ma'am?
I have a phone number I would like to try to ping. I don't know if it's Verizon or not.
Gotcha. Yeah, we can find out. What's the number? All right, let me check it out. One moment.
Thank you.
So that number is showing to belong to Sprint PCS.
Sprint?
Yep.
Detectives soon contacted Sprint to ping his location.
What's the nature of the emergency?
We just had a homicide and he is an armed accused.
Okay. What are you needing of us, a ping and anything else?
Just a ping, if we could try to get a location on this accused.
Okay.
Unfortunately, they failed yet again. Bryan's phone was switched off. With no evidence to go on, detectives now explored other avenues in search of a breakthrough. Luckily, they found one.
One of the first things we look for as we're walking around the area where it happened is who has a video camera.
The CCTV camera from a residence near the crime scene gave them a major clue. It showed a man leaving Madison's house.
We saw an image of a subject running across towards the ocean area. It was an amazing feeling. Not every day we get that lucky. I mean, there are times that we do have video, but sometimes the camera's not pointing in that direction. Sometimes the camera's just not working.
But in this particular case, we got lucky.
This was a significant lead in the case. Bryan was seen in one of the cameras situated on Ocean Avenue exactly the time after Madison was killed. Police now began tracking his movement, collecting footage from every corner he turned.
I'll never forget, there was a couple of surveillance cameras right there pointing to a side street where we see him walking toward the house. Another camera showed him walking into the back area where there were some people hanging out drinking. So our objective was to get the subject as soon as possible.
The house caught on camera was just the breakthrough they needed, suggesting that this could be where Bryan could have been hiding all along. Wasting no time, they rushed to the location to arrest him.
When we got to the house, we knocked on the door. When you open the door, the kitchen's right there, and I see him. That's Bryan.
Bryan had finally been found. However, to confirm that he was the same man seen in the footage, detectives immediately questioned him, pressing for details about the clothes he wore that night and the exact route he took to reach his cousin's house. As it turned out, his timeline perfectly matched with the CCTV footage investigators had recovered.
Nikes. Air Jordans, they're kind of mudded up.
What shirt were you wearing and what shoes were you wearing before? That's what you had on? You sure? You didn't change?
How am I going to change?
You were here at your cousin's house, right?
I was gone like 1 minute.
Oh. All right.
I don't need to lie.
No, I'm not saying a lie. I'm asking
Soon after confirming his identity, Bryan was brought to the Long Branch Police Department for interrogation. But just when detectives thought they had everything figured out, Bryan did something unthinkable.
They were taking off his sneakers, and he uttered the word bye, like saying goodbye to them. He tried to run out the booking area.
There was a big sergeant at the time that was able to grab him before he got away.
Just minutes before the interrogation, Bryan's desperate attempt to escape strongly suggested he had something to hide, and he knew he was about to get caught. However, escaping from the law wouldn't be as easy as he thought. Soon, as detectives realized his motives, they wasted no time to begin his interrogation.
Bryan, how you doing? How you doing, bro? I'm Mike Cordero. Okay? Bryan, just tell Bryan, I'm waiting. You know why you're here, but before I speak to you, I still gotta read you. It's called the Constitutional Rights, and you gotta understand your rights. And if you want to speak to me, you sign the form that you want to speak to me. Okay? So you just turned, how old? You just turned 19? No. 18? No. You
20.
20. Oh, I'm bad at math.
3 days.
And, what's your phone number?
I don't have a phone.
You don't have a phone?
I lost my phone.
Where did you lose your phone? Where did you lose your phone?
I don't.
As the detectives sat with them for an interview, their main goal was to understand what had really led to this brutal crime.
So she came over for money, you said?
Yeah, for half.
How much money she want?
14.
$14?
Yeah.
Where was she gonna go?
To work.
To work, you said?
Yeah. But she work in the morning and I go in the afternoon.
Okay.
So we give the money to her.
However, before detectives could mention about Madison's death, he accidentally confessed something that only the killer would know.
Well, my friend, he told me.
What friend? Who's your friend?
Un amigo. Yo llamé mi amigo.
¿Cuál amigo?
Angel.
Angel what?
I don't really know the last name. Just like that he told me about that everything.
He what?
He told me about everything.
Angel told you about everything?
Without even trying, detectives already had Bryan's confession. He already knew about Madison's murder. But his story about Madison's killer had no truth to it whatsoever. Throughout the investigation, no one had encountered the man or anyone even with a remotely similar name.
I don't even want to talk to you. If you're lying to me.
I'm not lying.
We have evidence that you were there.
Yeah, I was there.
You're the one who killed her. Stop. Don't put Angel. Yes.
Me?
Yeah, you're throwing Angel. Angel's in heaven with God, the angels. You were there.
Yeah, with my friend.
You were there by yourself.
To get Bryan to confess to Madison's murder, detectives devised a clever plan. They told him Madison had already named him as her attacker long before she died. Beyond that, there are multiple pieces of damning evidence in hand that could land him behind bars for decades.
She told us. She told us.
Madison.
We had him believing that Madison was alive and that she told us he did it.
We talked to Madison, okay? There's cameras out there, there's witnesses.
Believing that the evidence gathered by the police was strong enough to put him in never-ending trouble, Bryan gave in and confessed the truth that shook the detectives to their core.
I really love her.
I know. I bet. You know what? I could see it. I bet you really loved her. I know. We all know you loved her. I know. She loved her a lot. But something happened, and I know what happened. And I want you to be honest with me.
When I started dating her, she promised she's going to be loyal to me.
She promised she's gonna what?
She's going to be loyal.
Loyal. She's gonna be loyal to you.
She promised to me.
You know, it's our job to give you the tools to understand, to make the right decisions, okay? You don't wanna lie yourself into a corner. Talk to me how you were feeling while you were standing there talking to her. How did it go?
Bad.
Bad in what way?
Like really bad, because everything what I did to her.
You loved her. Yeah. Were you sad? Were you angry? Were you a mix of everything? Angry? Yeah. Let's talk about it. What happened?
Let this stick okay. What's the thing? What did you use? A knife?
Sitting casually across from the detectives, Bryan began revealing the horrifying truth about Madison's murder.
So you killed her?
Yeah, me.
You said you stabbed her with a knife. Yeah.
Not only did Bryan coldly confess to the murder, but he also detailed step by step exactly how he killed her, showing no remorse for his actions.
She was in her phone.
Oh, she was on her phone?
Yeah.
Okay.
Then she take my phone.
Okay. So now she has your phone?
Yeah, well.
Okay.
Then I do it like this.
With your right hand?
Yeah.
Okay. What did she say when that happened?
I run.
Run?
Yeah.
With clear evidence in their hands, detectives charged Bryan for first-degree murder and manslaughter. He was sentenced to imprisonment for 30 years for the murder of Madison Wells and an additional 5 years for attempting police escape.
Cordero-Castro will also face charges for possessing a weapon and for attempted escape. Now, because of that attempted escape charge, prosecutors say the suspect is a flight risk and expected to face those charges by closed-circuit TV from where he's being held.
It was a good feeling to know that the family knows the truth. Yet, there was no happiness in this. They just lost a loved one.
While we were in the interview with Bryan, we were downloading Madison's cell phone. It showed that Bryan texts Madison hundreds of times that day, just obsessed with her.
With Madison's tragic end, the community was left in shock as it witnessed the dangers of obsessive controlling behaviors in a relationship. Within the span of 9 hours after ending their relationship, Bryan had texted Madison about 230 times, revealing the extent of his madness.
Stabbed her to death, and then ran like a coward.
While Madison's family believed there was some sense of justice served, the weight of losing her still hung heavy on their heart, making it impossible to forget what had happened. Friends at school who knew the couple found it difficult to process the loss of Madison.
Madison was well on her way. She just got to the point of being what she wanted to be. It's got into her life. It's just not fair.
Madison's farewell left a void that shattered countless hearts. Her absence was felt by all, each one searching for what they'd lost.
They hate you. You're gonna die. I don't want to do this.